Alright guys, so since the game has launched, there has been a lot of characters that have come out, and obviously since time has passed, there have been many characters that have been very bad, there have been many characters that have been very good, and all that in between. But in this series of videos, I'm going to go over every single character in each typing. Well, I guess not every single character, but each of the worst SSRs in each typing. And I'm just gonna go over what I personally believe is to be the worst units in each typing, right? So we're gonna start off with the reds. Drop me a comment down below if I don't cover a unit you think is terrible, like absolutely bad, doesn't see any use, etc, etc. Drop me a comment down below, and maybe I missed it, but again, this is a personal list that I just feel like a couple of characters in these typings are just so bad, right? They're just terrible. I don't know if anything will ever help them, but yeah, let's go ahead and let's get started with the obvious number one being Halloween Meliodas for red units. He is garbage. I do not like this unit. I don't. I think they designed this unit very poorly, like very, very poorly. So we're looking at this kit. He has a poison single target, right? Okay, and then his second skill, or not his ult, his second skill is a AoE spike. All right, so here's the problem with this, right? So Netmarble has this cute little thing where they give crit based units, or I guess I should say units that are supposed to be crit based, right? They have this cute little thing where they like to make their crit chance very freaking low. I don't know what the fuck Netmarble has against units that are supposed to crit, but they hate it. They actually hate them, right? Either they'll have really good crit chance and they have one hit, Blues Elders, or they'll have very low crit chance in a card that does multiple hits and doesn't crit. It's like, why? Like, why do that, Netmarble? I don't understand. And Super Awakening is not helping him, right? So Super Awakening is definitely not helping this unit. Where's his crit? 6%. 6%. That's the only buff he gets on his crit chance. Like, it's a joke. It's an absolute joke. Now, he does increase his crit chance on passive, but here's the kick. He needs to literally build it up. He needs to build up his crit chance. What? Why like literally why? Even when he released, he was terrible. So he is, for me, number one worst unit in the game. I just don't even think it's I don't even think it's fair. Like, I just don't. Maybe you could give him the advantage in he is a Meliodas, so whenever we get holy relics for like Captain Meliodas, he's gonna get it. But you know, I don't know. I just don't know. He also has access to a lot of cosmetics, so I guess that could be an advantage as well. But yeah, he's terrible. He's actually terrible. But moving on. So then we get to Diane. So this fighter Diane, right? She is terrible. She has some usage, like, or not with her passive, the other Diane I was thinking about, but she has some usage with being a link for king, but there is really like no real reason you would even use her at all, right? Maybe in training cave, you know, if you're new, but there's literally no reason you would even run her. I just don't see it. I don't see it. Like, she has a single target debuff, right? Which is just cool, I guess. But then in a single target shatter, which no, then oh my god, the small fighter D, I don't understand why, like why they did this. The small fighter DNs, right? They have Pierce on their ults. Their Pierce is 31%. Now, it is 3 times Pierce increase. But why? Why? It just makes no sense. There's no rhyme or reason to it. There's just none. Again, she has kind of a similar passive to Halloween Meliodas, but instead of at the end of every turn, she needs to take damage. That's even worse. Like, that's literally even worse, because her stats, like, they're not terrible, but like she's gonna die. Her defense is terrible, right? 5,000 is just bad. It's just bad. But all right, so moving on. This Bond is garbage. I really hate him. I really hate this Bond, because when he came out, it's like, okay, well, he has a nunchuck bond, so his substats aren't the best, right? And it's like, okay, what is he doing as kit? Weak point, and then he has a a single target decreased skill rank. So the only way to proc this weak point is for him to have an ally or for his ult to pop off. I absolutely freaking hate this unit. Like, out of all the bonds, I honestly think I think he's the worst for me. I think him, and it's between him and Green Brawler bond. It's between those two bonds that I hate. Like, I hate him. Like, he's terribly designed, terribly. And then he has he fills the ultimate gauge by 1, if he takes damage. What were they thinking, man? It's terrible design, terrible design. Moving on. Then we get to this red Skinny King. Now, if Pierce ever makes a come up, he will be good, right? I'm not saying he's like bottom of the barrel trash, but he is terrible, right? He is terrible. Again, he was really only used for his passive, and since Pierce hasn't been meta relevant since 2 years now, maybe going on 2. So he's trash, right? He's just bad. He's just bad. Explosion is alright, I guess, and then he has this, which disables recovery skill. It's just not good. It's just not good. The only thing I could think of that you could save this unit is his ult. His ult is very good. I'm a huge fan of AoE Shatter ultimates. Huge fan of them. So his ult is very good. He also does have access to a load of cosmetics, right? So that could also save him as well. But then we get to his substats. His substats are so bad. Like, they are. Okay, can we see his substats, please? His substats are very terrible. Like, it's pitiful the way they made his substats, right? I get it. He is basically a starter unit game because he works off of Blue King's substats, right? All of the Harley Quinn units, they do, or King of the Fairy King, whatever you want to call them, right? They have the same similar substats. 18% crit resistance. 18%. He's just bad. He's just bad. Moving on. So then we get to Gil Thunder. I think this Gil Thunder is horrible. I do not like him. He was, maybe at the start of the game, he was built in a way where he actually could have been useful, but now he has no use in any content. He has literally no use in any content, like, at all. By accident made his Holy Relic, which people still get on my case about, but his Holy Relic doesn't really do much for him. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you. You have to build him, or not build him, but you have to work with the team around him in order for this to even be relevant, right? So that's the bad part about it. His resistance can go up by a huge amount, but with Merlin, Sariel, 11, like, you're gonna get massacred. You're gonna get massacred, right? Just completely, like, obliterated. Then I like this taunt. I'm not gonna lie, I am a fan of the taunt. I just wish they would have buffed it to where it was the same as Excalibur Arthur. But then you give him this. What on God's green earth? Why? What on God's green earth made Netmarble decide, oh, we're gonna make the shock AoE cards just bad, like just terrible multiple. What the what the hell is this? 86, 129, and 215. Like, it doesn't even make sense the way that they multiply. It's just dumb. And then he does have a Rupture AoE, or a Rupture Ultimate Single Target, which is good against buff units, but you're never using Gil. Like, you're just literally, I don't even have to go into it. You're just not using him. He's not good at all. Gila, same thing. Gila is just bad. I hate this unit too. Like, she's just terrible. She can remove buffs, single target. She does have this ult, which is an AoE spike. Again, spike. They love giving units spike, right? But then they make the crit chance so fucking low that it's like, it doesn't matter, right? It just does not matter. So Netmaru loves doing that. And then she has this, which, you know, is a single target ignite, can remove stances. All right, cool. Like, literally never gonna use her anyway, so it really doesn't matter. Then she has this. When the game first came out, she was a very good sub. Very good, right? But now that we have units that don't even, like, give a flying fuck about HP related stats, it just doesn't matter, right? Just really doesn't matter. She's bad. She's just bad. All I can really say, she's terrible. All right, then we keep going, right? This is SSR, by the way, if I didn't say that in the beginning. These are all about the SSRs. Where is it? This Goddess Elizabeth actually low-key might still be decent, depending, because her passive deals with recovery rate, which is like heals, right? It's heals. She could be good if recovery rate ever becomes meta. I don't think it ever will, but we'll see, right? But she could actually be pretty good if recovery rate becomes meta, because this is increasing all allies recovery rate, which, you know, increases obviously the amount of HP they regen. So it's actually not that bad. But the only thing with recovery rate is that it's based off skills, right? So it has to be recovery skills in order for it to actually be decent, right? Whereas regeneration rate is just at the, like, pretty much at the start of every turn, you're gonna heal up a set amount of HP, right? But again, this is literally, it says right here, a value of increased HP gain when recovering with, you know, basically with skills. So it's tight. But then she has this skill, which isn't that bad because it removes debuffs and then it increases allies defense related stats. I think Easton has this as well, Red Easton, so that's pretty good. This is okay. Like, this also helps with recovery rate as well, right? Because since this actually heals with her attack, it can actually affect your recovery rate. So you'll heal I guess depending on your recovery rate, you can actually heal up a bit. But her ult is gonna go crazy with recovery rate, by the way. It's just gonna go crazy. So yeah, she could be decent if recovery rate ever makes an impact. I don't think she's the worst, but she's definitely leaning towards, like, just the worst. All right, moving on. Then we have this unit right here. Now, I'll be honest with you, right? She's not good. It's just she's just not good. I just feel like she's one of the worst red units to release in a long time. It's just like this right here is so bad. Like, if they buff this, if they gave her everything she has on rank 3 on rank 2, it actually would be fine. Like, I actually wouldn't really you know, care too much. But then it's only on rank 3 that she depletes ultimate move gauge by the number of skills that she deranks. So it's like, okay, sure, whatever. Then she has this, which actually could come in clutch, but in the long run, like in the grand scheme of things, I just don't think it matters too much. And then her substat, like her substats, again, since, you know, she's going off of Blue Elizabeth and Hawk, it just, like, her substats suck. Like, they're just bad. Like, they're just so bad. And then her passive, right? Her passive can be good for certain situations, but this right here, I find that this extra bit to her passive is just, like, literally irrelevant. Like, it shouldn't even be there, to be honest with you. Because when the actual fuck are you gonna run her with the unknowns? Like, when are you actually gonna run her with an unknown team? I mean, maybe with Festival Gother, maybe. I guess, right? But then she herself is a goddess member, so it doesn't really matter, because you're only getting 10%. Then you're getting 10%. Then you have to get the third one, right? Which is like, okay, well, who's the third? Well, to be honest, the third might end up being a goddess clan member, like Margaret. So I just find that this is pretty irrelevant. Like, just being honest with y'all, I just think that she's pretty bad. Like, she's just one of the worst red units, like, to release. All right, moving on. This Halloween Elaine. Now, you could give her the benefit of the doubt in saying that no one really ever gave her a chance, but she's not good. She is really good for Halix because she can increase that. I think she's the only unit in the game that does this. She increases ally stat related buffs, which is really good. I think she's the only unit in the game that does this still to this day. She released, like, when did she release? Year and a half ago. Like, she is the only unit still. This, I mean, like, this could be good, I guess, right? And maybe, I don't know. Then she has this, which is terrible. She's just bad. She's just bad. Moving on, Benimaru. Benimaru is terrible. I don't like him at all. Again, he has literally the same thing that Sweet Temptation Elaine had. I just don't think that's gonna be really that great. Then he has weak point. Now at least he can proc his own weak point, right? That I'll give Benimaru that. He can proc his own weak point effect because he has this. So when he came out, I don't think it was the worst. But then his subset, like, look at this. Like, look at this. Look at this. You know, are you looking? Are you seeing what I'm seeing right now? He is dead. He is actually dead because 23% crit resistance, 29% resistance, 4,278. He's dead. Like, he just you run him in anything, he's dead. It is what it is. He can increase his own damage dealt up to 30%, but he has to build it up, which, I mean, no, like just no. And then he also has the same thing that Elizabeth and Hawk had, right? The summer version, but on an ult, which is okay, sure, whatever, fine. I don't even think he gets much of anything when you like super wing him. I don't think he. Yeah, I just nothing that's helping him. That's for damn sure. There's nothing that's helping him. It's just sad. It is really, really sad. So hopefully if Slime comes back and they get holy relics, maybe he'll be good again. Maybe, we'll see. I don't think so, but he's bad. All right, this Lilia, evil Lilia, is just bad. I don't care. She's just kind of bad. Not only is she's bad, right? She Lilia bad. Let's not get it twisted. She's bad, but she's terrible as well. Like her card itself sucks. It just sucks. Same thing that the New Year's Elizabeth has. She has. Okay, so she can heal. AoE ult depletion. Okay, sure, useful. Removes buffs from all enemies, which can be good. But here's the thing again. Should we look at the substats? Do we are we seeing a pattern here? Because I'm seeing a pattern. Now, I don't know if you guys are. I'm starting to see a pattern. Then again, doesn't get jack on her on her thingamajiggers. She actually gets a fair amount of crit resistance. She gets 12%, which is actually pretty good. Wow. All right, maybe her crit resistance is actually pretty good, but it's nothing that's gonna save her at all. Like, it's just nothing that's gonna save her because her crit defense is terrible no matter what. Like, her crit defense just sucks. So she gets 15 and 12%, which is not that bad. Actually, that's pretty useful for her. So all in all, you can get up to like what, around 50% crit defense, but it doesn't really matter. She's gonna die. Very squishy. Has really no good attack. 5,000 attack. 5,000 attack. It's terrible. It's very bad. Very, very, very bad. Galland. I don't know. I guess for now, I say Galland's pretty bad. But a lot of people might fight me on this one. They might actually fight me on this, so I don't know. But I'm going to go ahead and say he's pretty bad, though. I'm going to just say he's actually pretty bad. Mon Speed is very bad. This red Mon Speed, by the way. When we get Holy Relics for Demons, he actually will be useful. I feel like he actually will be useful if they do it right. If they give him a Holy Relic where he increases his damage dealt, like, per Ignite or something like that, or, debuff or whatever the case may be, it could actually be very interesting. Like, if he gets an extra additional, like, 60% damage dealt, I don't know, when the enemy is debuffed, that actually might be good. Like, that actually could be useful. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, that could be useful. Because he does have this card, which does have a really good multiplier on it. Then they give him this by far, like, AoE weak point is just... I don't know. I'm just not impressed by it at all. AoE weak point is so trash. I genuinely think they need to buff the percentage. I'm not even kidding. I think they genuinely need to buff the percentage. Like, this should be like 110, this should be 170, and then this should be 210 or something like that. Like, they need to buff that. But he's just not that great. I mean, yeah, he can apply ignites, but he has to get his ult to do that, and then he also gets he also gets inflicted by his own commandment. It just becomes a real hassle trying to get his ult. It just does. Estarosa's pretty bad. I don't really think I need to say more. With Kyo, he looks decent. That's it. Denzel, pretty bad. Not gonna lie. Denzel, you know, again, if recovery rate, I guess, ever makes an appearance in the meta, could be good, but it's pretty garbage. Deldry, garbage. She's very gimmicky, so with gimmicks, she could be good, I guess, right? I'm just gonna speed through the rest of them because, like, at this point, it is just like, yeah. It's just sad. Mike is very bad. Mike is just, I don't even know why the hell they made him. Camilla, I guess if she ever gets buffed or something like that, maybe, but Mike is so, like, I don't know, man. I don't know, like, cause his passive, like, he can be useful with his passive, I'll give him that, but his skills are just so shit. Like, they are actually bad. You would think too, like, oh wow, like, he, you know, he seems decent. No, there's no. And he also has infect, but it doesn't proc until rank 2, so it's also single target. It is just very, very weird the way they build him. He also has this ult which can stun, which I guess is cool, right? It can remove buffs as well. Decreasing attack related stats. Like I said, this could be useful, but all in all, I don't think it will be. He just sucks. His sub stats are bad. It's just a very bad unit build. Very, very bad unit build. But I think that just about wraps it up for the worst units for Reds. I don't know. Let me know if I missed a unit that you guys think might be terrible, or, you know, there's a couple units, I guess, like, all right, I don't have Christmas Elaine, but she's god awful. She might actually be worse than Halloween Melly. I'm not even kidding. She might actually be worse than Halloween Melly. And then this Easton is interesting. I don't have her, so I guess I can't really say much, but she's bad. Like, from what I've seen, she's just garbage. She also has Terry's, well, I guess she was the first one to introduce this, but Terry and her have the same ult depletion card, which is good, but then, like, you get this, and it's okay, I guess. It's okay, I guess. But let me know if you guys have a unit that I didn't talk about or didn't cover. I'm very interested. Like, there's a couple, like, I still think Hellbrim's decent. I think Hauser's really good for free-to-play players who just started. I think Red Arthur can still be decent. Red Escanor can still be decent. Red Derriere can still be decent. Like, there's a couple units on here that I still think have somewhat of a decent, like, usage, right? So again, let me know what you guys think, but that's gonna wrap it up. You leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you like We're in Cross, and that's gonna be it. I'll see you guys later.